While Canada's Conservative Party leader, Pierre Poilievre, transits the nation's provinces to garner votes in a national election against Prime Minister and Liberal Party candidate Mark Carney, a lesser-known opponent poses a risk that could derail his political career. In Carleton riding, where Poilievre has retained a seat since 2004, Liberal Party candidate Bruce Fanjoy said he's knocked on more than 15,000 doors since he started his campaign more than 2 years ago. In Commonwealth countries such as Canada, a riding is the term used for an electoral district. In order to participate in debate, a prime minister must hold a seat in parliament by winning an election in a riding. Although there is historical precedent for a prime minister without a seat, experts say in practical terms, the individual would quickly run in a by-election for a safe seat. A riding the party has always won. Fanjoy is currently in a dead heat with Poilievre, according to some polls.
Well, in Canada, it doesn't matter how big a name you are in federal politics. You still have to win your local riding in order to have a seat in the House of Commons. So I recognize that this was an opportunity in Carleton. 100,000 voters here in Carleton can make a remarkable contribution to Canada. So I know he's the leader of the Conservative Party. I get that. I know he's a big deal. But in this race, prior to the election, he had no more votes than I did. Hi there. How are you? I'm Bruce. Okay. So are you just on the other side of Hastings? Okay. Yeah. You can't speak in Parliament unless you have a seat in Parliament, with the exception of occasional international guests who are invited to speak. But no, he would need to he would need to run in a by-election somewhere else if someone was prepared to step down to make room for him to run. But I think if he loses the election nationally, and if he loses the election in Carleton, then I think that he's going to have to move on to a new line of work.
Fanjoy said that nationwide statistics for advanced polling in the election indicate that 43,000 people have already voted in the election, a riding of 100,000 prospective voters, leading the country in turnout.
Ever since the election of Donald Trump and his preoccupation with disrupting the whole world trading system, unjustified tariffs against Canadian industry, nonsense about annexing Canada, it's focused Canadians enormously from coast to coast to coast.
Fanjoy said U.S. politics have been an overwhelming factor in the sentiment of voters across Canada.
The consequences of this election and the absolute imperativeness, the imperative to get it right. We see what's happening in the United States when people don't vote, and we just finished advanced polling in Canada, and this riding, Carleton, led the nation in advanced polling. 43,000 people have already voted in this election out of 100,000.
A win for Poilievre in the national election, but a loss to Fanjoy in the local riding he's held for more than 2 decades would be a major irritation, but not the end of the world. According to political science professor Dr. Conrad Wynne at Carleton University in Ottawa.
Listen, if he became prime minister without a riding, nothing would happen. He would eventually get someone to step down in a safe riding and run in the by-election in that riding. If he lost his seat and also lost the election, well, we can all guess the implications. There are so many solutions that we could get into. But if he wins the national election and loses his seat, it's a major irritation, but not the end of the world.
Fanjoy said Poilievre would no longer be allowed to speak on the floor of Parliament should he lose in both instances.
This moment, this election, is the most critical election in Canadian history. And in Carleton, we have an outsized opportunity to do something special for the country.